Hey, After Party Nation. I wanted to jump on here real quick. It's Monday. I'm outside. It's really nice. There's a breeze. It's low humidity. The sun is gorgeous. Love sitting out here. I've been feeding turtles all morning because they're trying to fatten themselves up. Because they're getting ready to go into hibernation. So I think I've seen about a dozen of them this morning so far. So if you hear me say something, it might be a turtle grabbing my ankle because they're hungry. They want their bananas. But it's lovely outside, and I wanted to talk a few minutes about recovery. It's amazing to me that turtles ended up being a huge part of our recovery. If you had told me that, I never would have believed it. No, never. But, they were, and we got to know these turtles really well, and it's funny how they all have different personalities, and you don't think about a turtle having a personality, but they do. And it's just an amazing part of our recovery that we have kind of just dedicated taking care of these wild animals. And when you're recovering, you got to find what you can do to make yourself have that strive and have that reason to stay recovered. Because we have family and we have friends, and Jean and I have each other, so we had reasons, but then it was like the turtles were like the little sprinkles on the cupcakes. So anyway, I did want to talk to you about the daily reflection. Jean and I are in recovery. We're in AA, and I'm not going to preach to you because I think that a lot of people think, I've got a blonde streak showing. I think that a lot of people think that AA is all about preaching, and sometimes it is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes you need some preaching, but you don't want it all the time. Sometimes you just want to talk to somebody. But we do a daily reflection every morning, and they have it with NA or AA, and you can find it online. And the reflection today talked about making amends to people that you have wronged during your alcoholism or drug use or anything like that, or both. And Jean and I got sober during COVID, which has made things, I guess, maybe easier in an aspect, because we didn't have the temptations because everything was closed. But then it kind of made it harder because we would get flyers from the liquor store saying that they would deliver. So it's kind of both ways, and it's definitely made the step where you make amends to people more difficult, because when you really sit down and you start thinking about everything and you make a list, and when you make your list, you don't really realize how big that list is going to be. Of course, for me, it was my family and my children and, just immediate people to think of. But then when I really sat down and thought about it, there were people on there that I wouldn't necessarily say I did wrong or I didn't wrong, but I wanted to have a conversation with and kind of see where they were at as far as I go, and see if maybe I remember things the same way they did, or they remember things differently, or if there's anything we need to talk about. So I kind of had two lists. I had like people that I knew I was going to talk to and people that I talked to on a regular basis, which even during COVID, I still saw my children. So, and I still talk to my mom every day, and I still talk to certain people every day, maybe on the phone because of COVID, but, then there was another list of people that I didn't necessarily talk to every day, but I still want to have that conversation with. And now COVID is taking a different turn with this Delta variant, and several people on this list that I wanted to have those conversations with have died. And it's not something that you can just call up and say, hey, I'm in a 12-step program, let's talk, and do it on the phone. It's something that really needs to be done in person. And it wasn't that I had put it off, it's just that I was kind of like, eventually maybe we will be back to normal, and I can go and sit down and have lunch with this person, or go to this person's house, or invite this person to my house. And now I feel like COVID is robbing us of so much, and that's just one more thing that it's robbing us of, because now I'm never going to get that chance. I was willing to take that chance and sit down with people and say, hey, I know I screwed up in the past, and I'm sober now, and I'm doing better. I'm trying to do a lot better. What can I do to fix our relationship? And I feel like COVID has robbed me of that. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of reach out and see if anybody else was feeling like that, because it sucks. I don't know if it's not something you want to do in an email. It's not something you want to do in a phone call. But maybe FaceTime, I don't know. I'm kind of reevaluating everything now, and maybe I will start doing some FaceTime or some Zoom or something with some of these people, because I am afraid of losing somebody else who's on that list. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to touch base with you. Let me know if you've got any comments, questions. I'd love to hear it, because like I said, I'm kind of at a loss right now. So anyway, thanks guys. Enjoy your Monday.